Hello and welcome to a rare cloudy day in the garden and to today's workout, which is going to be focusing on healthy hamstrings. So tight hamstrings is something that quite a lot of clients or people in my classes complain about, but it's often not the hamstrings which are the root of the problem. More often it's due to underactive glutes or an unstable or lower back or pelvis or some underlying injury. So what we're going to do today is work all the muscles around the pelvis to try and give some more flexibility to the hamstrings. So we're going to start at the end of the mat and we're going to just get settled, shoulders are nice and round and down, and we're going to inhale and then exhale, nod your chin to your chest. And then rolling down, keep that pelvis high as long as you can, using each and every vertebra to come down. And then I want you to bend your knees, come onto the balls of your feet, and then push through the heels and rolling back up, using the abdominals to bring that pelvis and the spine back to vertical. Okay, so we're going to do 2 more of those. Inhale, exhale. Nod, and then really get as much flexion as you can out of that spine. Pelvis tips forward. We bend the knees, come onto the balls of the feet, push through the heels, and rolling up. Okay, 1 more. Inhale, exhale, nod. Rolling down, push through those heels and rolling back up again. And around and down. So now we're going to step 1 foot forward. I'll do the other one. 1 foot forward, the other foot back, and you're going to hinge from the hips. Okay, so you're in a nice straight line. And we're going to just lift and lower that back leg. Okay. So for 8, 7, use the glute to lift. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms come out, tip forward if you can. Really lengthen through the tips of your fingers and the toes and hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And down, and let's go to the other side. Okay, so all the weight is in that front foot. I'm hinging forward, nice and balanced on that front leg as we lift and lower. 2. So the leg isn't coming too high. I'm not arching the back at all. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Arms come out. Lean forward, focus on a spot, and let's hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down, and then let's go down onto the mat. Okay, so holding on behind the thighs and rolling down. Right. So our pelvis is in a nice neutral position. So we've got a gap between our lower back and the mat. The legs are coming straight out of the hip bones. My collarbone is nice and open, nice and relaxed. And we're going to go into some hip rolls. So inhale to prepare, and then exhale. Use the abdominals to tip the pelvis towards the rib cage, and then picking it up off the mat, using the glutes and hamstrings to come up. So you're in a nice line from your shoulder to the tips of your knee, and then sinking down from the rib cage, trying to get as much movement as you can out of the spine. Okay, let's do 3 more. Good. And inhale and come down. Try and keep the collarbone and the chest nice and relaxed. 2 more. And last one. And down. So we're now going to move on to our shoulder bridge exercise. So for this exercise, we just want to pick the pelvis straight up as if it's on strings and we're being lifted up. Then we barely tap down. So we're no longer articulating through that spine. So our feet are hip distance apart, arms are long, and we're just going to pick the pelvis up and tap it straight down for 8 counts. So let's go. Up. 2, really squeeze those glutes and hamstrings as you come at the top. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hold here and pulse us up for 8, 7, tiny movement, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, tap down. Okay, so now take the feet wider and turn the legs out, so you're in a slight external rotation from the hip. Okay, same thing. So we're going to lift up, tap down. 2. So using a different part of the glute now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tap down. Legs are going to come back to parallel. We're now going to pick the pelvis up. Make sure you're nice and stable, pushing through those arms. Lift your right knee to tabletop. Stay nice and level on the pelvis. We're going to tap down and up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, tap down, other side. Making sure you're nice and level. Tap. 2, 3, 4, 5, in and down. So last one in this series, we're going to do the full shoulder bridge exercise, which I haven't done yet in the challenge. So let's give it a go. So I'll show you once what we're going to do. We're going to pick the pelvis up. One leg comes to tabletop. It extends up. We flex the foot as the leg lowers towards, only in line with the opposite knee, and up. Flex and point. Flex, point, in, down. Then we go to the other side. Flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, in, down, and then we lower down. Okay, let's give it a go. Okay, we'll do 2 rounds. So pick the pelvis up. Knee comes in. Extends. So lower and lift. Lower. 3. Bend. Down. Other side. Lower and lift. 2, 3. In. Tap down. Okay, if you wish, let's do 1 more round of that. Otherwise, do 1 more set of the 8 basic lift and lowers. Okay, so let's lift up, in, up, down, up, 2. So you should feel a nice stretch on your hamstrings as you're doing this exercise. Lower and lift. In and lower down. Fantastic. Hold on behind the thighs. Rolling up to seated. I hope it's not going to rain. Let's see. Okay. Arms come out. My shoulders are nice and relaxed. Okay, I'm sitting high on those sit bones. We're just going to go into our half roll back. So we inhale to prepare. Exhale. Really scoop those abdominals. As you come back, nothing in the shoulders at all. Okay. We use the hamstrings to get lifters up and over, and then we come to vertical. Okay, so roll back, lift up and over the legs, and straight. Let's do 6 more. Really scoop those abdominals back towards the mat. and keep the shoulders really nice and relaxed. Remember, this is not about going back as far as you can, it's about keeping good form. So only go as far as your abdominals are in control. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Okay, just scoop your bum back, and then the legs are going to come to the width of the mat, okay? And you need to be in a nice vertical position. As you know, if this is uncomfortable for you, get a folded towel to just raise yourself up, or a yoga brick, or just bend those legs slightly. But ideally we want to have straight legs, flexed feet. The arms are coming out to a T. We're going to rotate, but we're rotating up from the rib cage, not from the shoulders. Okay, so we lift, and then we saw off our little toe, lift up and untwist. Okay, so when we rotate, our abs pull back as we reach forward, we lift up and then untwist. Two more either side. And last one. Okay, just butterfly the legs and just round forward. Hold back behind the thighs, rolling back down to the mat. And now I want you to take one leg long, okay? The other leg is going straight. We're holding on behind the calf, bottom leg hovers off the mat. We're going to go into our scissors exercise, okay? So we pulse, 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 pulse. If your hamstrings don't allow you to do this, bend the legs slightly, okay? But ideally, we need to get those legs as straight as we can. Let's go for 5, 4, 3. Make sure your head is supported between those shoulders. And last one. Come in and then roll over onto your side. Okay, we're going to go into a side kick exercise. So front shin is lined up with the front of the mat. My top leg is long. I'm pushing it away so I'm nice and lifted on the waist. And I'm going to flex the leg as I bring it forward to kick, kick, and then point as I extend back. So I'm hinging from the hip crease. There is no movement in my upper body at all. So for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and last one, 8. Okay, now take that leg long, make sure you're still lifted in the waist, and we're going to circle forward for 8, 7. Keep this top shoulder nice and relaxed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. So keep that leg as long as you can. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend in, push up, and let's go to the other side. Let's get set up. So front shin is lined up with the front of the mat, hips are stacked, top leg is long, and I'm pushing that hip away to make sure I'm lifted in the waist. So we kick, kick, and back. So keep that leg at this hip level, don't try and get it high. And remember, we're not taking it back too far, so we're changing the shape of the torso. We're keeping that nice and strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, lengthen that leg again, away again, and circles 4, 5, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knee in, and we're going to roll onto our tummies for our final exercise before we have a stretch, which is our swimming exercise. So arms are long, but I don't want you to push the shoulders up. I want the shoulders to be nice and flat on the back. Okay, head is just hovering off the mat. My legs are long. My glutes and hamstrings are pulling down, which then lifts my abs up to protect my lower back. Okay, so I'm going to lengthen one arm and the opposite leg. When it can't go any longer, it will lift and down. Okay, other side and down. So remember that head is hovering off the mat, but my neck is in a nice alignment with the rest of my spine. Let's do 2 more other side. And last one. Always in control. Okay, now hover the legs off, hover the arms off, and let's swim. So we inhale for 2, exhale for 2. And let's do this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. And down, and just rock that pelvis, and then let's roll onto the back for a nice stretch. Okay, so we'll start with the hamstring. Okay, so lifting that leg up, and I want you to bend and then push through the heel. So bend, straighten as much as you can. Okay, now hold it toe pointed and just circle the ankle. And the other way. Okay, and now I want you to take the leg across to the other side and push through that little toe, and you should feel a stretch down your ITB into the glute. Okay, now the foot is bending in across the knee and pulling in for a figure 4, and just breathe. And allow those glutes to release. And let's change legs. So hamstring first. So bend, push through the heel. Okay, point that toe and circle. And the other way. Okay, now let that leg come across and just push into that little toe. It's quite an intense stretch, that one, but it's a really good one. And then bending in, across the knee and pulling that knee towards you. Or if it's enough for you, keep it flat on the mat. And rolling onto your side, pushing up, and you're done. So I hope you like that. I think it's a really good one to do, particularly if you cycle a lot or run a lot or feel that you have tight hamstrings. It's really good to work the muscles to allow the hamstrings to have more flexibility. So that's a really good one for you to do. So I'll be back here tomorrow when I'm going to do a workout which is all about preventing neck tension. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day and stay home, stay safe. Bye.